YouTube, it's Sat. Welcome to Driver 81. My mission today is to talk through why you should buy a Porsche Macan. It's really 5 or 6 things that I actually love about this car. It's a 2018 Porsche Macan Turbo. It has a 3.6 litre V6 twin turbo engine, pumping out 400 brake horsepower, 4.8 seconds 0 to 60 time, 295 foot-pounds of torque if my memory serves me correctly. That's the car in a nutshell, but as I say, 5 or 6 things that I actually love about this car. The very first thing that I love about this car, well, just look at it. It's absolutely striking. Let's take a closer look. Okay, next up, number 2 on the list is the performance and handling of this car. Never have I driven a car that seems to be so, what's the word? Well, basically, it's 2 cars in one for me. It's an SUV, it's a people carrier, it's a car to take the family around, but it's also a really hellish grunt of a sports car. Basically, I'm going to show you this. If it's open, it's not open. Ta-da! So we've got a few different modes here. If you want to start the car and just be driving around doing your normal day-to-day shopping, maybe your commute, then just keep it in the mode that it actually starts up in. However, if you want to turn it into a grunty sports car with super harsh handling and riding, then what you want to do is you want to put it in Sport Plus. Sport Plus activates the hardened suspension. So there's 2 levels of suspension. You've got a hard suspension and an even harder suspension. You've got your sports exhaust on, and basically what it does is it holds the car into the gears a lot longer and gives you that gruntier feel, a real sports car feel. I had this on a closed off road. I promise you it was closed off, and I did 134 miles an hour, but I actually ran out of road. So I've absolutely no doubt it will go further. Apparently the top speed is 165 miles an hour in this car. 0 to 60, as I mentioned, is 4.8 seconds, which is certainly nothing to get angry about. 295 foot-pounds of torque ensure that the power is always there exactly when you need it. This thing goes like a mother. Okay, number 3 on the list is the space inside of the car and the comfort of the car. Let's take a closer look. So this is the interior of the car, obviously. And what do you think it looks like? I think it looks absolutely beautiful. It's almost, I don't want to say spaceship, but I do want to say fighter pilot-esque. I'm going to get in and just look at this center console here with all of these buttons. It almost feels like I should be flicking it up and then pressing the button. It looks that super cool and sleek and sexy. It's got the nice flush screen here. It's a touch screen, so the amount of buttons that we've got on screen here are minimal. These are all of your options that you've got, so you'll add these on when you're speccing your vehicle. The amount of leg room I've got here, well, I'm 5'10", and I'm going to put the seat all the way back. So yeah, plenty of room there. I can't reach all the way down, but that's because the seat is as far back as possible. So if you're a 6-footer, I think you're going to have no problem in this whatsoever. As you can see there is quite a bit of room. The only thing I would say is the amount of leg room in the back. If the seats are fully back, the amount of leg room in the back may suffer a little bit. Yeah, I mean, could I sit in here? Oh, well, I could. Excuse the ghastly hairy legs, but yeah, I could sit in there. You could put a child seat in there, no problem as well. Let's have a look in the boot. Oh, this is one thing I want to show you as well. Where do I open the where do I open the boot? Ah, look at this. Cool little button. And this has a lot of my gear in. Just a bit of camera gear, that's my case there. Obviously cameras there. So it's got a lot of space in there. Obviously it's got the ski hatch in there. You can fold the seats down. Parcel shelf. And then it's got the button, of course, to shut the boot. So the space and the comfort of the car, driving this car, I've driven it a few hundred miles already, it's beautiful. I've never once had a problem with my back, which I do often get when driving my 911s. In fact, I always get problems with my back driving my 911s. That's why I'm constantly popping pills. Not illegal pills, of course, but popping pills when I'm driving my 911s. This is ultimate comfort. This, to me, and don't tell anybody I said this, but this is what the Cayenne should have looked like, in my opinion. It's a bit smaller than the Cayenne. I suppose there's an argument that you could go bigger, and if you need to lump a lot more stuff around, then yeah, you probably would need a little bit more room. But for me personally, I'm never going to need any more space than that in any of my cars. So to me, this is the one over the Cayenne. Sorry, I know there's a guy who'll be watching who loves his Cayenne. Sorry, Mo. Okay, next up is a little thing called launch control. Have you ever heard of launch control? YouTube it if you haven't. If you have, well then you'll know the experience that I'm about to go through. Launch control on this thing is absolutely epic. One of the best features of the car. I don't know why it's made it number 4 on the list. It should be number 1 on the list. Absolutely brilliant. Bravo, Porsche. It's almost like being on a roller coaster. It's that intense. It's that. Ah, what a thing! What a thing! Porsche launch control. You did good. All right. So next up, we're gonna have to get back in the car to see the 5th thing on the list. It's not the final one. I've got one more after this. It is the. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you actually, and I'm really sorry, and I feel really bad. In fact, what I'll do is when I'm driving, I'll try and make a little example for you. But basically, it's the sat-nav on this thing. It's so intelligent that when you're driving along the motorways, it shows the screen as being quite far out. But when you're coming up to the junctions that matter, what it does is it automatically zooms in, and it gives you extra information about the turn-offs you need to take. I know that's quite standard on some of the sat-navs, but to me it almost feels like as soon as I put my indicator to maybe turn left, it zooms in so that I can see that junction a lot more clearer. Now, I've never seen that before on any sat-nav. I apologise if you've got these cars and you see it every day on your brand new cars. I'm not generally a guy for brand new cars, so I've never seen that before, but I just found it absolutely fantastic. I've never seen it on any of the TomTom devices either, and I've had plenty of those. So the sat-nav, as I say, hopefully you've been watching some overlay on this little video here, because it's quite pointless without actually you seeing it and seeing exactly what I mean. So hopefully by this point you should have seen what I'm on about. If you've stuck with me this far through the video, I want to thank you. There's one more thing or one more reason why I believe you should buy one of these cars. It's nothing to do with the car really, it's the fact that, well, it kind of is. It's the fact that the car is so easy to diagnose. Many 2018 vehicles are brand new vehicles. If you've got a slight problem with them, you'll need to take them back to the dealer. Okay, fair enough, a lot of these cars are under warranty, but a lot of the time the dealerships can be quite far away, and maybe all you need is to do a simple diagnosis or a simple reset of a particular system. I know people who've basically bought brand new cars, but they have to travel 500 or 600 miles to the nearest dealer, so it's no good for those people. What you do need to do, and I'll show you, I've got some in the car, diagnostic tools, and these are the tools that will work on the 2018 and earlier and newer Porsche Macans. So look at these here. I'll tell you where you can buy these from in a second. These are what they call diagnostic tools. This is the Porsche or POR version 1.0. This is the POR version 2.0. This is a little bit more expensive than this one. This covers a few more systems, but if you're only really looking to maybe diagnose and reset fault codes or warning lights, this one will be fine. If you've got a diesel Macan or any other Porsche model for that matter, and you need to do DPF regenerations or reset, then I'd definitely go for this one. There we are. Channel sponsor, Diagnostic World. Take a look at those guys' website and they'll sort you out with one of these diagnostic tools. Great little kits. Okay, so that's it. Those are the 6 things that I love about the Porsche Macan. What I do want to do is thank Porsche Centre Teesside for fixing me up with this Macan so I can do a few videos on, a few reviews on it. I really appreciate that from those guys. Go and visit them, buy this car off them. Well, not really, just go in and say hello, get a cup of tea. And they've got some really nice cars. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it interesting. Maybe if you're thinking about buying one of these cars, or if you're thinking about maybe leasing one, and you just want to know what a few of the owners, even though I'm not an owner, but a few of the drivers think about the car. Me personally, I absolutely love this car. My next task is going to be to make a video on things that I hate about this car, and I haven't got a clue where to start. I really don't know where to start because it's such a good car. Yes, this is the turbo. There were obviously a few different variants. This is the most expensive in the lineup, actually, more expensive than the GTS. £64,000 basic model. Once you've got your options on, you could be looking at about £80,000. Is it worth it? Well, that's for you to decide. I mean, you are the keeper of your purse. Me, I'm just driving it for a bit of fun for the weekend, do a few reviews on it. I wish I could keep it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe. I'll see you next time.